The first thing I want to do, because I gave you guys that big graphic organizer yesterday, is I want to fill it in for the first time together so you can see the kind of things that I'm looking for. Okay, the USS Maine. What happened to the USS Maine?
Blown up.
No one We don't know what happened to it. I mean, we know that it exploded, right? But we're not sure what happened. San Juan Hill. What happened at San Juan Hill?
They battle.
Who was involved in this? Who was involved in this? Teddy Roosevelt. Very good. Thank you so much. And what was his group called?
Rough
Riders. Very good. You can write the definitions on there if you want to. This, again, is a study guide for you guys. Whatever is going to be most useful for you, that's the reason that we created it, so that you can have a way to coalesce all of your information and see the big themes that are coming out of it. Okay? Thank you. No problem. The next time we do this, I won't have anything in here, and you guys will be filling this in. We'll be doing it as a class together. But I wanted to give you an example of the kinds of things that I'll be looking for. I've created a bit of a timeline for you. The importance in my mind is that you remember the chronology of things so that you can formulate kind of a story in your head about what's going on. We have the Monroe Doctrine, which we talked about yesterday. Of course, the Civil War is a big marking one. The Mexican-American War, because I know that we studied last night about Mexican immigration. Then the Exclusion Act, which we talked about. And this goes all the way over here, right? So hopefully this will be an extra study tool for you guys. So we have this question of barrios, and I think this is very interesting because I think there is a theme with regard to immigrant populations forming little groups, little barrios, little neighborhoods. So what purpose did this serve for immigrants, for Mexican immigrants? Why do you think it's characteristic of these populations? Why were Americans threatened by the idea of educated immigrants? What happens when you have an educated population? Competition, absolutely. Competition for jobs, competition for ideas. So how does this correlate with the treatment of African Americans at the time? What do you think the relationship is there? Were Americans threatened by educating African Americans?
Yes.
How do you see this? How is this shown? How do you see that Americans were threatened by African American education? Where do you see that?
Just not. I mean, like further back.
How about just segregation? Right? Are black schools and white schools equal during this period of segregation?
No.
Do you still think that there are schools which have mostly white people and then schools which have mostly black people?
Yeah.
Are they equivalent in their opportunities? No, they're not, right? So this continues today. I mean, you see the legacy of this, okay? It's time to reclaim America from illegal immigrants, and we have a Native American saying, "I'll help you pack." The first thing we're going to do in your groups is go ahead and analyze a political cartoon.
Okay, so this cartoon portrays a Chinese person with a washboard under him running away. And the person chasing him is America, the Missouri steam washer. And so,
Which was ironically created by Clinton.
the Chinese. America was saying how they needed the Chinese in the late 1870s for the railroad and to wash the clothes because no one else wanted to do that. And so they invented the steam washer. We have something to now clean our clothes. That's a machine. And so they kind of ran them out, kind of good for nothing attitude.
I'd like you to use your own experiences, your own ideas to answer this following question. The question is, do you think that there's a correlation between the feelings and ideas behind expansion or imperialism, which we talked about yesterday, and the feelings and ideas on immigration? Well, let's talk about it for a second, okay?
When they're trying to expand, they want to Americanize everybody they're expanding and to assimilate them and to make them appear and feel and be like they are. And with the ideas of immigration, they're scared of people being different and competing with them, and so they want the people to look like them, assimilate like them, and then when they don't, when the fear gets too great, they just send them back.
That is precisely what I'm talking about. When we talked about the Philippines, how did the United States treat the Philippines after the Spanish-American War? Terribly. Why?
It's true.
Because we wanted to Americanize them. We wanted them to take on American culture. We're acting as the authority. Do we do the same thing with immigrants? Do you see the same kinds of feelings, the same kinds of hatred, the same kinds of discrimination that you would see that how the United States acts outside of its borders and within its borders? So I want you to think about that and write some things down.